Goal! Let's go. And welcome back to Top Cheddar Sports. I'm Brett.
I'm Victor.
And it is Wednesday, my dudes, so we're going to be talking that hockey. It is week 2 of the NHL season, technically week 3, but it's the week 2 that we're going to be talking about it.
Right.
We don't have as much to talk about as last week. We had a lot of extensions to discuss, and just, it was the start of the year, so a lot to discuss. But let's jump right into it.
Okay.
Let's talk about those New Jersey Devils.
Yeah.
So
It's been rough for them so far.
it's been rough. I mentioned last week how first game of the year they played the Jets. It was the Top Cheddar game of the week because it was very entertaining. The Devils were up 4-0. 6 minutes left in the second period. They end up losing that game in a shootout.
Yeah.
I believe 6-5. I believe. Rough go of it to give up that many goals in that short amount of time. So what happened this week?
More of the same. Now, luckily for the Devils, the scoring isn't the problem because they've pretty much taken the lead in every single game.
Sure.
So it's not necessarily that they just can't score. It's just that they can't hold on to any lead in any game. And
Yeah, it's too bad.
it's not even near playoffs, and they are choking hard.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like Corey Schneider has played decently as well from the games I've watched. I don't have his actual stats in front of me, so I don't know for sure. I feel like it's mainly on the defense, and even the forwards just not back-checking well.
yeah, as a fantasy owner of a couple different Devils, I've seen how at least their individual performances played out. PK Subban, we thought he would be a great add to the team. It's not.
He doesn't
On
seem to
pa-
mesh very well
On paper,
in Jersey.
he sounds good. It hasn't converted yet, so
No.
we'll see if that comes with more game time. And another big piece that will get better with time is the rookie, Jack Hughes.
Right. So Jack Hughes, which goes right along with the Devils' struggles, plugged into the top 6 role, as he should be. Currently, through 5 games played, still has yet to get his first NHL point. Not even goal. His first NHL point. And he's a -4 on the year, which actually isn't that bad when you look at the team's goal differential. But still, he's not getting it. He's not getting it done.
I feel personally like he just needs to notch that first goal. Actually, in their last game played just 2 days ago, he had the opportunity off a rebound, a wide open net. It was right next to the post, and he was coming from a hard angle and just completely shot across the crease. He was mad at himself. He basically smacked his stick down as if the play was over right then. Kind of forgot the puck was still in play for a second. So, yeah, once he gets that first one, I think he'll be good to go.
He hasn't looked bad in the games.
Not at all.
You can obviously see he's a very good skater. They were saying that draft day, you can definitely tell one of the best skaters on the ice already as a rookie.
Yeah.
Very fast, very controlled, strong skater. He's just gotta, I agree with you. I think once he gets that first goal out of the way, we'll start seeing him coming. I still put him down for at least 50, 60 points this year. I think he'll still be good for that.
So,
I'm
almost
sticking by my
point
prediction.
per game player after this rough patch in the start.
Right.
So,
In other news around the league, talking from a rookie to a 40-plus, 42-year-old, something like that. Patrick Marleau, as we all know, got traded to the Canes in the offseason. They bought him out because he wasn't going to play there, which I found interesting, given how good the Canes are and young. He could have impacted a lot of good young players there.
But veteran status.
He goes home. The Sharks signed him to a 1-year vet minimum deal, and in his first game, literally, they signed him, and 24 hours later, he's in the lineup in a top 6 role for them, and he scores 2 goals in his Sharks debut, re-debut.
I think it's amazing for him. Yeah. I like the guy. He seems like a very standard
Always
guy
loved
on and off the ice. I was surprised, we'll say, that he was put in the top 6 role.
As was I.
I think it was more just for a morale type, hometown vibe type of mood, as opposed to his actual talent.
Yeah.
But whatever they did, it worked.
It certainly paid off. And then he had an assist in their other game that he played in. Still in the top 6, so 3 points in 2 games so far from Marleau. Obviously, he won't keep that up. I believe with the Leafs last year, he had 20 goals on the year.
So
I expect about the same from him there.
Yeah, especially because he'll probably at some point be moved down to, I'm assuming, a 3rd line if things get real bad, a 4th line. If he can put up 20 goals for them, on that fourth or third line. That's a good look.
It'll be very solid, yeah. And now it's time for everybody's favorite time of the week, your top Cheddar goal of the week. And this one actually came literally the night that we released this video, because this is Tuesday night. We record these the night before.
Right.
So this happened last Wednesday night, but it stood through the rest of the week to be your top Cheddar goal of the week. It comes from none other than Matthew Tkachuk.
Oh my gosh, it's gross! It's disgusting!
The hand-eye coordination of Matt Tkachuk there. And it should be noted, that game, that was, I believe, scored with under a minute left to tie the game.
Send it
to overtime. So, big goal, as well as just dirty.
Yeah,
so, and he went top Cheddar.
That looked
over the shoulder
like
and then top Cheddar
experience.
into the net. That is
not something you would see from such a young player, but
right.
That was just raw talent right there.
So, Matthew Tkachuk, congratulations. You are now in a tie for first place with Travis Konecny for your top Cheddar goal. I'll come up with a good title for it by the end of the year. Your top Cheddar performer of the year. I don't like that. We'll come up with something better.
Send in what you want it to be called.
Yes. Yeah,
leave
a comment below what you think it should be called, and we'll take a look. We'll take a look. Some other news around the league. There was one trade this past week between the Ottawa Senators and the New York Rangers.
Right.
So the Ottawa Senators acquired Vladislav Namestnikov. It's a mouthful. Very good player, though. In return, the Rangers got Nick Ebbert, who is a defenseman currently in the AHL, young defenseman.
Right.
Not a highly regarded prospect, but will be a solid, maybe third pairing guy.
Okay.
And a fourth round pick. Namestnikov did score in his Senators debut against the Lightning this past week.
Yeah.
I like the move for the Sens. Like I mentioned before the start of the season, I really actually liked what the Senators did this offseason. Even though they're not going to be competing this year, they did get a lot better. What do you think about the trade?
I was a little surprised because I feel like the Sens are obviously at the low point and looking for a rebuild in the future. So I'm surprised they're open to giving away draft picks. However, it was a fourth, so it wasn't too much of a compromise. Right. It's not like they're giving away potential for top talent right there.
Exactly. And Namestnikov, he's still a young guy.
Right.
So I think he fits in well in Ottawa, and he'll be there for years to come, I think, as they continue their rebuild. And the last thing we're going to talk about this week, well, second to last thing, I guess. There are currently 3 undefeated teams left in the NHL. There's one true undefeated team, and that is the Colorado Avalanche at 5-0 as of this recording.
After an impressive performance versus the Washington Capitals last night.
Very impressive.
Monday night.
I don't take this as any surprise for me at all.
That the Avs are undefeated?
Yeah, I'm very high on the Avs this year, and yeah, they're a lot of depth. They're scoring goals. The goaltending's holding up. Yeah. And Cale Makar has just looked fantastic this
Absolutely.
year already. So, you surprised at all?
Not really surprised. I mean, they're obviously not going to go win 82 games, but I expect them to keep putting up points, not quite at this rate, but not really to hit a slump anytime soon.
So they have a good stranglehold already on that Central Division. Another undefeated team is the Buffalo Sabres. So they have yet to lose in regulation. They are 5-0-1 as of this recording. That's a bit of a surprise to me.
Yeah, it's really impressive to me too. And last year I wasn't high on the Sabres. They came off to a very hot start last year. Mm-hmm. I didn't think it would keep up. It didn't. I don't think it's going to keep up again this time.
I agree.
But I see a little more promise in this team with a few adjustments they made as opposed to last year.
Yeah, I think that they're going to come down to earth. They're going to start playing their division more coming up soon, and I think their division's tough, so I think they'll,
for sure.
But for now, it's great, and I hope they prove me wrong, because Lord knows that fan base deserves to see some playoff action.
Absolutely.
It's been a while.
One of the most dedicated fan bases in all of sports.
Yeah.
So.
And then your last undefeated team through just 3 games, but the Philadelphia Flyers are 2-0-1. This doesn't surprise me, again, because it's 3 games.
Yeah,
it's still hard to tell. Really.
They played the first game overseas, so till they came back, that's why they have so many less games played than everybody. They played the Flames Tuesday. We'll see if that continues, or on Wednesday.
Tonight, or yesterday night. Tonight, as of this recording, which is on Tuesday, yes.
I don't think it continues there, but if they can keep it up, good for them. I see this one being the first to break of the three.
We will see. So let's talk about kind of our biggest surprises then of the year. We mentioned the Sabres. What's your biggest surprise team so far this year?
So my biggest surprise team is in a good way. It's the Edmonton Oilers. Now, Monday night they played the Blackhawks. They were actually 5-0 heading into that. The Blackhawks handed them their first loss in Chicago. So it was a tough game for the Oilers, but what really has surprised me about them is not only have they won 5 games, their first 5 games, but they went down in every single one of those games and had to come back. So it only makes me wonder, once they finally start scoring first in a couple of these games, what are they able to do with it then? Since all 6 games so far, they've seeded the first goal.
Do you think they're legit?
What's legit? A playoff team?
Sure.
I don't think they'll end as a wildcard team, but I think they have the possibility of it.
Okay.
I don't see them as a top 3 in their division. So
okay. My biggest surprise so far this year is in a bad way, and that is the Dallas Stars, who coming into this, they played 7 games already. They are just 1-5-1.
It's ridiculous.
And they are not in last in their division. The Minnesota Wild are 1-4-0. But it's not looking good. It's not a good start. This was a team I was also very high on this year, and while I'm not panicking for them, I think they're still going to be fine. Certainly not the way you would have started a season. No. And I honestly, I haven't really paid much attention to their games, so I don't even know if they're getting blown out or they're just not scoring, or I don't know what the issue is. I know they got shut out the other night.
Yeah, to Buffalo. That was actually the one I watched the whole game of. Okay. Because I thought that would be the game that both these teams kind of flipped the track they're on, where Buffalo were to lose and Dallas get right on track, and they just didn't look impressive. For somebody with a great defensive core, I won't try and rank them.
Yeah.
They haven't looked impressive.
Great defense.
Not really able to
really
score.
Good top 6. So. And Ben Bishop in that. I mean, there's no reason this team should be struggling the way they are. So It's something to watch on, I'm sure. I know it's very early. I don't think their coach is quite on the hot seat yet, but if this were to continue a little further, you could be seeing a coaching change coming in Dallas as well, because we know they had high expectations coming into this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Given their all-season moves, they're in win-now mode, so let's see them win now.
And Corey Perry should be back soon, so although he's not going to be a top 6 for them, most likely maybe he can provide some type of boost on the lower lines that they so desperately need right now.
Well, that'll do it for this week. Leave a like, leave a comment, smash that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and let us know what you think about the Devils. Can they come back? A lot of people have them as a dark horse for even the playoffs this year. You think that's still a possibility? Will Marleau keep this going? And let us know what you think about these undefeated teams.
Yeah. And let us know what you want the Top Cheddar Performer of the Year award to be called.
Yes, and they will get this. Just kidding. This is mine. For winning the Top Cheddar Fantasy League.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.